Ray-Pec community, this is Mike Slagle, your superintendent, and we are back for another episode of Ray-Pec Connect. As you know, the purpose of Ray-Pec Connect is to provide a more in-depth information discussion on key topics and issues that are here in the Ray-Pec School District, and we are glad you've joined us today. Our listeners know, in the past, we've talked about diving into what it means to be a school district of choice. We've talked about such topics as our vast offerings for students at the secondary level. We talked about our Lead Center earlier this year, some career exploration programs, and our last program, we talked about our early childhood programs. Today, we get to talk about our activity programs, another way that we are expanding choice and opportunity to our students. Joining me today, Dr. Kristina Martin, our activities director for the district, as well as Cristin Blunt, assistant principal at East Middle School, and one of your primary duties, Cristin, is activities at the middle school at East. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Hey, we're talking a little bit before the program started about how activities are our front porch. And so when I say activities being the front porch of a school district, that metaphor, that word picture, tell me what it means to our district activities director.
When we think about the entry to Ray-Pec, they see our kids. And so when we talk about the front porch, we think of what's in your yard, right? Which is kids playing and having a great time and showing their best side and laughing and just growing up. And athletics helps achieve all of that.
Absolutely. I know as a recovering activities director from a nearby school district, I always called it the other half of education because it teaches its ability for kids to fail safely in many ways. Its ability for kids to experience teamwork that they can't experience in the classroom very easily. And really, it builds a lot of the soft skills that we know are going to be important to be successful adults. So at the middle school level, when we get our kids together to do all that, how does that look with building a positive coach-teacher-student relationship? What does that look like for you?
Sure. So especially on the middle school level, it's very exploratory, right? It is the entry level. And a lot of our students are tapping their toes in the water, and they're starting to form their bonds with teammates and with, in band and orchestra, robotics. And it's a really neat process to observe. This is, for a lot of them, the first time that they have even played or been a part of a group. And it is really interesting to see them interact for the first time in that sort of setting. So it's interesting on the middle school level, but it's really precious also to see, them come together from their kind of elementary past to a much larger group setting.
That's what I love about, let's focus on middle school real quick. It is a way, like you said, for kids to explore. Lots of times, these are the very first and only experiences our kids will have in these various activities. I want to reflect on when my kids were growing up. My younger one was never going to be a football player. But for that 8th grade year, he could be a football player. And he'll never forget the time he accidentally intercepted a pass. It was very much an accident. But that experience can stick with kids for a long time. They can have that forever, but even though they don't go anywhere from there, they have those early experiences which are very formative in their lives.
And I think, to your point about, the coaches, and I think it's so important on the middle school level too, because, getting good coaches on that level to help nurture and foster that exploratory love is so important. And we are really lucky to have great personnel at that level to help them explore. So it's one of my favorite things is my introduction to the district was finding some great coaches to help foster the love on that middle school level to help, recruit and get kids involved. And every year our numbers keep getting larger and larger to the point where we're having to find ways to expand and find new opportunities. And so it's a fantastic problem to have.
I love what you say about that. First of all, it expands. We're a victim of our own success.
Yeah.
Keep building that positive imagery as well as a positive experience for our kids. But what you said, as we continue to expand, the smorgasbord of success, the smorgasbord of opportunities for our kids. And just in the past year, we have added esports, girls flag football, boys volleyball. And so I'm really proud of those offerings as well. So tell me about at the high school level, what it is like to add additional opportunities for our kids that we know are great for kids, but come with its own set of challenges.
It is. The beautiful thing about adding those opportunities for our kids is that they're at the secondary level, at the high school level, 9-12, we have over 2,000 students. And so it is difficult to know every student and what their interests are. But when we start offering more opportunities, we meet more students. And so it's students that were, they weren't as involved and they didn't feel a connection. And so what we're seeing are the connections that are developing and what's going to tie them to Ray-Pec. And the beauty of this job and what I love about it more than anything is that you have the opportunity to be passionate about the things that you really like, but you really learn to help celebrate the success of others when you see kids that are successful in something that you didn't know anything about, and then you allow them to teach you more about their subject. There is so much involved in, even outside of athletics, let's go with theater. So with theater, you have makeup artists, you have people that naturally love dramatics and they can channel that now. You have people who they want something to do with fashion, design, period history comes out, the things that kids know and love. And it goes on and on. I mean, it's endless. Within theater, we have the forensics. That's another amazing opportunity for kids to be involved. And it always amazes me how kids can, the amount of time that they put into their practice and the heart that they put into that. It's amazing to watch that. And I love it. Because so many of us, even as adults, like we're afraid to talk in front of people, and you see kids doing that all the time, and they're doing it every single day in the hall. You'll walk into the main part of our building, and there's kids that are talking to a group of students every single day, and it's fantastic. Like, it just makes you happy to see them thriving. They're tight-knit groups, and they're not cliques. They're groups, and they're people who share a passion and an interest. And I love that.
That's awesome. I think when I'm hearing you say what I've seen in this district is that we want to have a place for every kid who wants one.
Absolutely.
Whatever that group may be, whatever that activity might be. I think at the middle school level, the challenge is getting their confidence and bravery enough up to try something new. And then I think the high school level, when you get there, is okay, now you can choose from all of this. So there's that kind of you're entry level, get them in, get them going, get them feeling good about going beyond their comfort level. And then I think over here is like, oh, okay, now that you've gone beyond that, here's everything you can do with that. Because I really like what we're doing with some of the non-traditional ways we can get kids involved. Bowling, that was a relatively new activity from a few years ago. Girls wrestling was another that's relatively new on the rise, but our brand new ones, like the esports I just mentioned earlier. That's a group of kids that, are doing an activity, but now are doing it under the Ray-Pec name, which kind of, like you said, connects them a little bit easier.
It is. There are so many opportunities for kids to make connections, and it's amazing to me how many kids will sit in a classroom and they're in that room every single day and they don't know each other's names. They don't have something in common to talk about. And then they go to their clubs or their teams, their performing arts, whatever they're involved in, and they meet people, and now they have connections back in the classroom. And then that just helps further the connection to Ray-Pec. And I know we keep using the word connection, but that is really what the digital world has taken a little bit, is not allowing that personal connection. And through activities, athletics, the performing arts, we have brought that connectivity back. And I love that part of my job.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the middle school level, getting them brave enough to try something new. How do you do that?
You would be surprised. They're actually pretty brazen. They want it all. And here's what's interesting is that, like, flag football for girls. So we know that our kids are very much aware that it's on the horizon. Our PE teachers are prepping them for flag football now, and our kids are all in. The girls are all in. They are taking their PE unit so seriously right now because they're planning to play on the high school level. It is this unit that they're doing, they have taken it so seriously in class because in their head, they're playing next year for high school. They're ready. And it is the tie from the classroom to high school, like they're just so ready to go. I think probably the biggest obstacle is not like building the confidence is, they just want more. I think in their middle school brain, they think that they're high schoolers. They are ready to go and they want more opportunity. They want to be like their older brothers and their older sisters and their cousins. And, they go to the Friday night games and they see homecoming and they want those experiences as well. And I think what's exciting is we're like, just wait, you're going to have your time. You're going to have your time. And they know that. And so they're in their preparation phase. They know they have to earn it a little bit. And they're getting ready for it. And I think that's also the fun part of middle school is like, it's their prep time. They've got to earn it. So it's, I enjoy this phase a little bit. But the kids are into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're very much into it.
Now, under the umbrella of activities, which is on the athletic and non-athletic side, performance sides, all that good stuff, we also have a plethora of activities that are club-based and just interest-based too. What's the role of our district to foster those opportunities for kids too? Because I know those exist for our kids that provide them another outlet to meet others and to interact with others. Maybe not in a competitive way, but certainly in a collaborative way.
A lot of our clubs come together for service opportunities. They have a common interest, but then how they express that is then going out in the community and performing service to others. And so we have our NHS kids. They are present every Friday night after football games. You'll see them helping out by cleaning the stadium for us. A lot of people don't realize that our stadium turns over immediately the next morning, and then we have our youth teams come in. So that is a huge help to our community for the students to come in and clean that up. We also have our SAD group. They're getting ready to do the project grad or the prom, where they try to demonstrate the necessity of good choices and responsibility in driving and those types of activities. So we have those awareness. We just had a group come back from competing in our FCCLA, and so that's co-curricular. So we tie that back to the classroom, and tons of clubs. Our student senate group, they just came back from a weekend where they spent collaborating with other school districts and trying to figure out better ways to connect and bring spirit to your school. So it is tons of people. We've got Ray-Pec now, who they work with our yearbook and our media classes, and that's a whole group that goes out and goes to all of our events and tries to publicize that and make the community aware of what's going on. So we have tons of opportunities for clubs as well.
I think from my perspective, and I know from yours as well, we want to create a place where if a kid wants to get involved in something, they can.
Yes.
They take down any barrier that they have in front of them, whether that be real or perceived, and make sure that they are available to try to, whether that's additional opportunities at our middle level at some point as we continue to build that out, or continuing to spin off these clubs and ideas for kids at the high school level. I was, hung out with the girls flag football team yesterday. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I was with the trap shooting team, which was a great experience. Those are, I was looking back at my experiences going through school, we didn't have those activities for kids. It's great that we have it here.
Another fantastic opportunity that we have in our district, and we're talking about inclusion, is our Special Olympics. And so we have a couple state champions. They recently went to St. Charles and competed, and we helped get them through that. And that was amazing. Right now they are in their track season, and they come in and they get the senior banners just like all of our other athletes. I absolutely love watching them compete and high-fiving them in the hallway. And they are so proud to come in the gym and see their senior banners up during basketball.
Isn't that fun?
I absolutely love that. So when we talk about including everyone, we really truly mean everyone. And I will also give a shout out to Kara Hornbeck and Katie Howlett and that crew, because I have yet to go into another gym in the metropolitan area that has their Special Olympics kids up with their regular kids and their senior banners. So super proud of them and what they do with our kids.
Absolutely. That's a big hit. We were had an opportunity to meet our Special Olympians a few months ago, watching their workout, and went to a basketball practice they were taking it real serious.
Oh, they do. Yeah, it's real.
Very much of it. Excellent. Well, thank you for being here today. I appreciate that. We're not finished yet with our activities programs for our kids. We are going to continue to build these out as new opportunities come up, and figure out ways that we can continue to provide that smorgasbord, as they say, of opportunities for our kids. Ray-Pec community, thanks for listening today as we continue to explore the concept of Ray-Pec becoming a school district of choice and why that matters to our students and parents. Thank you to you two for being here today. I'm Mike Slagle, proud superintendent of this amazing district. Be sure to look for our next edition of Ray-Pec Connect coming in May. Until then, have a great day, and thank you again for listening.